Apparently we're live. Good. Good. We like it when we're live. Um, am I gonna deal with that today? Eh, maybe. Maybe I take the headphones out. I don't know. It's a thing. It's Tuesday. It's 10 a.m. in the UK. I'm feeling rather okay. A little bit tired. A little bit tired. Crap. I'm on Wi-Fi. No. No. Okay, I need to go on to. Hang on. Hang on. Can I do this with. No, I can't do this with the headphones. Let's get rid of this. And let's do this. And pull. I need another Ethernet cable. Such is the life of expanding one's empire. And let's put you in here. Oh no, my screen's died, and now bad things are happening. Why is everything so sensitive? Okay, so interneting. My phone's vibrating. My cat's trying to do something weird in the corner. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right. So, my name's Stacy. Theoretically, we should be bueno now. If I turn the Wi-Fi off, my StreamYard will probably die. I'm hoping that is not the case. Let's open up system settings. Network. We're connected. So if I turn off the Wi-Fi, is that working now? Oh, Lord. Okay. God, I look tired. Right. Hopefully this is working better. It's now on a Ethernet as opposed to Wi-Fi. Cause why is my phone vibrating so much? If you're watching this and sending me messages, you're a bad potato. Um, no, that's that. Later. Okay, let's put you off vibrate so my phone's not constantly vibrating. Hey, hello. Wherever you are in YouTube land or Facebook land or wherever. This is meant to be a podcast. It's going to be a podcast. But I'm just, doing the usual, getting things sorted. I'm actually recording on Spreaker, and I've actually decided, having edited the last couple of episodes, and it's been a nightmare, not to do the intro and outro bits simultaneously because I have no control over the auto ducking, and the auto ducking's been absolutely atrocious in some situations. The sensitivity just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to do the auto ducking myself. And weirdly, the video is really clear because it's the integrated webcam on my MacBook Pro, because the other webcam is now being used by my PC. Ooh, there's a cat in the background. What is he sniffing for? He looks like he's trying to take a ninja poop somewhere. Icarus, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, cat? Hmm? Okay. You know how it goes. I start talking and then he decides he needs to have a poop. And then we have to sit here for like 10 minutes whilst he's scratching around in his little poop cabin. So that's probably going to happen. And I'm going to have to edit it out because it's happened over the last 4 episodes that I've been editing, which is kind of annoying. But them's the breaks. So say hey, even if you're stopping by. So, yeah, today's episode's the thing. It's going to be really weird starting an episode without the music, but I'm going to pretend I can hear the music and do the usual intro thing so it makes my editing easier. So, today's episode is about hobbies and entrepreneurs. What's the title? Oh, no, I changed the title. What's the title? Do entrepreneurs have hobbies? Do entrepreneurs have hobbies? Let me. I'm adding more text to my notes. I have notes now for podcast episodes. How weird is that? Where is this cat? Oh, he's over there. I get very antsy when he's scratching around because it usually means he does not like his poop cabin for whatever reason, and he's going to make my living room his poop cabin, and nobody likes a living room turned into a poop cabin. Yeah. That's how we're going to start today. So let's start. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Getting Shiggy With podcast with me, Shiggy, obviously. And it's episode 42, which it feels like it should be further along, but it isn't. But them's the breaks. And I think we're just going to get stuck in with it because today's a little bit different. If you're hearing this on Thursday, this has probably been stitched together with music all professionally like, but if you're listening to this live, it sounds really weird because I'm introing without music, which is a professional choice. As a sound engineer or editor or both, I've decided I do not want to waste time with the auto ducking in Spreaker. As great as it is, it actually doesn't do the job well. So that's my little professional feedback for the day. Today's episode is, do entrepreneurs have hobbies? Now, this came from a Facebook friend. I like saying friend, but I suppose Facebook friend would be more appropriate here, whereby they literally wrote, and this was yesterday, so this is how spur of the moment this episode is. Like, I have 4 episodes that I've pre-written, but you know, these ones are just kind of coming in with more fire and more kind of gut-wrenching. So this Facebook friend yesterday, today's Tuesday, yesterday was Monday, posted, "What are your hobbies?" And I opened up the post and I was going to write stuff, and I was just like, oh, I do not have any hobbies currently. And then that spurred on the kind of like, when did I last have a hobby? And it was a while ago. Obviously, the last 3 years now have been quite trying with, you know, maternal units exiting this planet, boyfriends being dickheads, the world deciding to have a pandemic, and so forth and so on. So a lot of things have just been put to the wayside, and now I'm sat here kind of thinking, when was the last time I had what even is what is a hobby? So let's do the thing. Definition of hobby. Hobby, noun, an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. I can already see where the problem lies. Something that's done regularly, the word regular. Leisure or leisure time, what is that? And pleasure. Yeah. That's a lot to unpack. For me, I don't know about you. If you have hobbies, tell me what the hobbies are. Do the thing. Wait. comment wherever the comments are. I haven't got any sick gains to show you, but wherever the comments are in Facebook, YouTube land, tell me what your hobbies are. Tell me what your hobbies are, because I've realized I have none. So, I couldn't really post. I think I posted something along the lines of, "Oh my God, I haven't got any. All I do is work, 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 work." Rihanna's song clearly has become my life, and with that actually kind of just set my whole day up, just the back of my brain kind of going, we don't have any hobbies. We don't do anything for fun. What even is pleasure? Like, even in that department, that hasn't happened for a while. Like, literally, what the hell is going on? And so I looked deep into the past, way back when I was a young whippersnapper. And and I used to do things for fun, like DJing was a hobby, right? And hang on, I'm gonna do a thing. I just need to check if the stream is coming in okay or if it's doubling up for absolutely no reason. Because if it's doubling up for no reason, getting Shiggy With Podcast with me. Come on, it's coming in okay. No reason. Because if it's doubling up for no reason. It's funny how this thing is so close to each other now. I can't even test and see if I'm actually like doubling up or not. I'm just going to assume I'm not doubling up, which is fine. Good morning, Phil. Good morning, Phil. We're talking about hobbies today. Woo! Um, so where was I before I tried checking if I'm doubling up or not? So DJing. I was DJing, and DJing was a hobby. Whereby, just randomly where I felt like it, I'd set my stuff up and I just play for like 40 minutes or half an hour, thanks Phil, or an hour or whatever. And that was before DJing became a job, a jobby, a professional jobby, a professional hobby, a hobby that you get paid for. And that's moved from strength to strength and risen and dipped and, done the whatever, dance, the waltz, the foxtrot. And beyond that, like crocheting was a thing. I used to crochet beanies out of like cashmere and merino wool, just because I had a shaved head at the time, and winters over here were getting pretty cold, and I just did them. I think one time I was so poorly. Climbing isn't a hobby anymore because climbing now has a business objective behind it. Because I want to open a place. Jiu-jitsu has a business objective behind it and also a competition, unfortunately. So those are no longer hobbies. Because I force myself to go to those now. Like, I'm reaching that point where they're no longer fun, but they need to be done because of bigger reasons. And to people who are listening to this on Thursday, come join the lives. This is what you're missing out on YouTube and Facebook at 10 a.m. Come join the lives and pop in messages in the chat, because this is where I live. I live for the chat. But yeah, so two things have just been posted because I do a lot of things. So here's the interesting thing: the jobby. I have many jobbies, right? Where there are hobbies with potential business purpose behind them, not things that I just do for the lulls, right? Bouldering initially I did for the lulls. Actually, a boyfriend introduced me to it, and I did and do climbing. My cat is not a hobby. My cat is a lifelong commitment. Where is he? Look at him. Look at him being all cute in his little cat tower. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to go for a shit yet, but them's the breaks. Yeah, so bouldering was something that a boyfriend initially introduced me to because I had this fear, or I still have this reverse vertigo thing, where if I'm high on a wall and there's a ceiling close to my head, if the ratio of me to the ceiling versus me to the floor is closer to the ceiling, then I just get full on temporary body paralysis and I just fall off. I'm like not a galago, a slow loris, right? You know, slow lorises that get tickled and everyone thinks it's adorable, but actually the slow loris is freaking terrified. That's me on a bouldering wall, and if I'm too high and I can't hold on to things and my brain just kind of goes into its whole spiral, I just fall off a wall. It's terrifying. I hate it, but that's why I do bouldering. That's the initial reason why I do bouldering. Then it got fun. Then I got kind of good, and then my Serbian brother from another mother like left. He abandoned me. Uros, if you're listening to this, I love you. But yeah, so with that kind of turned into something more because I had the psychological aspect. And then going back home when my grandmother passed away in 2015, I was just like, oh my God, like there's boulders everywhere. No one's climbing them. So it became a thing, right? It became a greater thing where, you know, this is what I'm actually this is what I actually want to expand upon with the whole kind of entrepreneurial brain. And I don't consider myself any way, shape, or form some kind of grandmaster, crack the code of entrepreneurialism, blah, 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 blah. Like, I am so far away from that. It's ridiculous. But I have not been in an office properly since 2008. I did a little flirt with a kind of office style security job for about 18 months, but still always had my own thing, right? And I kind of deem that as entrepreneurial in a sense. You know, if you're making your world your way, and that includes work, that includes having an income, even if it's like jumping on the freelancer economy, the gig economy, you know, if you're entrepreneurial in nature, I think that counts. I guess maybe more skin in the game is the fact that I have a fully registered company now. So maybe that's a thing. Yay. 2006, that's a long time ago. And good on you for sticking to your guns, cuz yeah, like everyone's got their own way of doing things. I'm not poo-pooing on office work or, you know, 9 to 5 things. It just doesn't work for everybody, and I am one of those people. I think maybe 20 episodes ago, I expanded on the one time I got signed off by my GP with anxiety and depression, and I got pilled to my eyeballs with antidepressants, and I just quit the office job instead and went cold turkey off the fluoxetine. I was on 75 milligrams and I was fine. So, you know, that's a thing. But the reason why I say all of that is because when you're entrepreneurial, right? That's funny. I like that. I'm unemployable. I too am unemployable. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a-okay. All right. And when you reach this point of, I think, full saturation, full existence in the entrepreneurial space, your brain changes. The way you think changes, right? You kind of expand on the opportunistic mindset, where everything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. As to whether you should do the thing, that becomes a whole kettlebell of different sharks. Weird analogy, but roll with it. And we start finding opportunity in everything, which can potentially creep into space to do nothing, or space to have fun, or space to chill. You know, the concept of fully chilling and not doing anything when you're beginning, especially when you're doing the hashtag hustle life, like, you know, some people embrace the Gary V Vaynerchuk mentality of like, you know, you do your 9 to 5, but you still got your 9 to 5. So like you do the 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. thing, but then you still have your 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. thing, and it's just like, maybe, I don't know. I don't agree, even though I've done worse. I mean, DJing is like, I'd hustle in pubs and nightclubs from 9 p.m. till 4 a.m. So, and then wake up and then go do a job. So I suppose I did it, but not in the way that he does. I didn't pressurize myself. Like Charlie says, it's fun, right? When you're doing that, it's fun. But beyond that, when I think of a hobby, your hobby is something that you do to mentally and physically break away from work. But when you're an entrepreneur and when you're doing all the things and you're angling just about anything to potentially be an income source or a way of utilizing it in whatever marketing aspect that you have, it loses its shine, right? And I think that's the problem, is everything that I do. And I'm looking at this from me, because yesterday it was a bit of a gut punch where I was just like, I don't do anything. Pretty much everything that I do right now has a potential business income output, right? And that's not bad. It's not bad, but it's like, so when do I switch off? I don't. I do not switch off. Every time I'm on TikTok, okay, fine, I have a hobby. I go and support friends on TikTok, right? And even some it's interesting, some Facebook friends that befriended me because of Icarus and stayed because of the banter. And then we actually developed kind of decent friendships. And then they posted that they're doing something on TikTok. And I'm like, yeet, I will go and support the hell out of you. And then just seeing a whole bunch of other cosplay friends from when I did cosplay for like a moment or two, and then realized it's an expensive habit. And I'm not in a place for that right now because I was doing security work and focusing on that because of the Olympics and everything. I suppose TikTok is a hobby, sitting there and watching all of them. And the problem with that is now my brain's kind of gone, we could totally boss TikTok. And here's 3 different ideas. And they're all really viable, especially the one that has a YouTube channel I created 12 years ago and forgot about and has almost 400 followers on it. I haven't done anything on that YouTube channel for 11 years. And there's 400 subscribers, 400 subscribers on a YouTube channel. And my brain is just going, we could business the crap out of it. I was like, no, 9, stop it. That is not what we want. We want something fun. We want something that, wait, what's the definition? We want an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. We have a problem. So yeah, trying to kind of expand on that. I spoke to my business mentor today, and we expanded on this more. And subconsciously, in the 20 minutes before this podcast, I expanded on it even more. So, see, Netflix is interesting. I don't see Netflix as a hobby. I see Netflix as forced mental downtime, where where I'm not sharing that one, but that's funny. So I've given myself a couple of criteria on how to cultivate a new hobby, because I'm a musician, right? I can still just give me an instrument. I can figure it out in 20 minutes. Case in point, a friend gave me a flute before lockdown. He said, can you play the flute? I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. And it took me 20 minutes to be able to actually play the flute half decently. The only problem is where I live, the walls are very thin. So my musicianship, wow, has been dulled by virtue of papier-mâché walls. So I can't cultivate my musicianship so much, but I should, and I think I will. I agree. Like, K-pop is a interesting space to observe. The dancing, the hardcore kind of characterizing of the people and turning them into this fantastical space for people to get lost in. It's a pretty interesting space. And yes, the choreography is amazing. It's interesting, little side note here, to know as of late, because African styles of dancing, especially from the Afrobeat space, is now slowly but surely making its way into J-pop and K-pop. Because I saw a K-pop group do the Guara Guara badly, and I was like, oh, well, you can't copyright dance moves, but also, can you all learn how to do it properly? Like, no shade or anything, but if you're gonna hit a Guara Guara, at least do it properly. Yeah, I'd love to build a sound booth in my flat, but I have high walls, high ceilings. Like, where is it? That black line there. Add another 25 centimeters, and that's where my ceiling is. So you can stack two of me on my shoulders, and that's how high my ceilings are. So the African dance has severely changed since then. Like, just literally just go on whatever and look at Afrobeats dancing. Like, literally every month there's a new dance. I can't even say half of them, but like, I recognize most of them. I can do some of them. It's changing because of TikTok, because of Instagram Reels and all that stuff. There is so much, like, Afrobeats dancing has changed, which is amazing. So, huge diversion, but I can reel it back. So with trying to find hobbies, I've given myself some kind of criteria to try and do this. So one of them is trial days. So just go out and trialing things, even things I don't think I'll enjoy, like cooking. Maybe I'll finally enjoy cooking. I don't know. But just trial days, free trial days. And I'm going to try and make sure I can just trial anything. Archery is really singing to me, just because it feels like the perfect balance of personal mental capacity plus external validation or rejection as to whether you can get that bow into the target or not, and where on the target you get it, and the different little internal theoretical things versus like your external summary of whether you could do it. Like, so if I breathe and slow down and do this and aim like maybe 2 degrees higher than where I want to actually hit, with the curvature of the bow actually hit that point that I wanted to hit, like, that kind of stuff really sings to me. And another thing I want to do is not post about it. I think that's what probably kills hobbies for me, is like, when I post it on social media, it then starts becoming its own thing, where it has, again, tapping back into this entrepreneurial potential space of becoming a thing. And I don't want it to become a thing. I want it to be mine, only mine. Not yours, not anyone else's, mine. Steady, Petunia, steady. Or Patricia. I need to get my red turtleneck out. Steady, Patricia. Split is a great movie. So those are the criteria that I have for myself. I don't know if this will be helpful for anyone else who has the same problem that I have, but like, making a hobby not for everyone else, but just something that you do, at least for the first 6 months of it, because maybe it doesn't stick. Maybe you do a hobby and it doesn't stick. At least you don't have that pressure of like, I found a new thing and I really enjoyed it. 3 months later, never mind. And, constantly having to do that. And then you become the never mind kid, which isn't so bad. I wonder what that kid's doing now. I'm not going to say what that reference is. If you got it, you are a G. So I think it's really important with hobbies to just separate it. If you're an entrepreneur or even a freelancer or a gig economy kind of person, and the idea of time off is literally reserved to drowning your brain in a a series. I'm a binger. I'm a hardcore binger. So much so I've had to like ration myself from doing too much binging because I have all the things. I have like access to Disney Plus, UFC Fight Pass, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Crunchyroll, Funimation. Like I have access to all the things, and I can easily binge like forever. And that's not okay because that side of just like dumbing down the brain and forcing it to switch off doesn't help. And then I have TikTok on my phone at the same time. I think it's important to, find a hobby that ticks whatever boxes you need ticking. And I know for me, there needs to be a kind of, I wouldn't call it a goal, but it probably is a kind of goal, like a baby goal. But it ticks various needs that I have to engage with something. So like archery for me, because of that internal external looping system, it's great. Plus I don't need to rely on anybody else. That's another thing. I don't need to rely on someone else being there so much. I mean, you do have to go to a club and stuff, but that's what bouldering was for me for a long time. I can just show up with shoes and a chalk bag and go climb. Done. Other rock climbing requires belay partners and relying on people to not drop you when you're climbing on rope, and I can't deal with that in addition to my mental vertigo thing. Like, no, too many things, too many variables, especially when people like, you're a strong black woman, you got this. I'm like, fuck you, let me down. I don't care if I was a strong alien. I said down. I said what I said. Let me the fuck down. I don't need your encouragement today, Sandra. I triggered myself. So I think that's where I'm going to kind of wrap this up today. It was a nice short episode. Once again, we like short episodes. Because this is one of my like shooting from the hip episodes where I'm just kind of feeling it as opposed to mentally giving myself a week to kind of prepare for it. I think we're going to roll back into the pre-made ones that I have, because the Barefoot Hooligans one is going to be so much fun. So much fun. Because it's the history of feet and shoes. If you don't like feet and shoes, do not tune into the next episode. Because it's gonna be a thing. Yeah, respect boundaries. Charlie's got it right. Like, if people say no, especially when you're up a wall with rope and like your hands are sweating and you literally have like 2 seconds before you fall off like a slow Loris, respect our boundaries. That's a thing. So I hope you guys really enjoy this episode. Once again, this is an outro happening without the outro, but if you listen to this on Thursday, there's a beautiful outro music thing happening underneath this. If you want to find me on social media, I am on Instagram at lshig. I am on Twitter at lshig. I'm on TikTok. Don't find me. I'm on Facebook as Shigimus or Shiggy Pactor, whatever. You do the thing. My website, shiggy.co.uk, is slowly but surely finding a will to live. And send me a message, say hi, say where you've come from. It's always appreciated. And until next time, I love your faces. Okay, bye. Boom. And that's the episode done. A 33-minute episode. So this is the BTS stuff that no one's going to hear. I have done airsoft. I have done it. The problem is I get too involved. And it requires people, which is not great, because there's the whole social anxiety of like, oh my God, there's new people and I have to be nice to them and I have to kind of understand who they are and what the dynamics are and who that person is in relation to the other person. And like, sometimes I'm good for it. Most of the times I don't want to deal with it. And this is the thing with the hobby. Like, yes, people, ugh. I love people, but at the same time, I love people on my terms. Because I got into paintballing, like, what, I'm mid-30s now, Jesus. So early 20s, so 15 years ago. a boyfriend at uni got me well into paintball. But again, with him, I showed up, and I just didn't bother. Like, I peopled a little bit, and like some friends, some fellow like-minded, just like, we'll do enough, but small talk fucking kills us. Like, we hung out, and then when we went into teams, just that was it. We didn't really need to talk to anybody, which was great. But ultimately, I just did my own thing. And if people wanted to talk, I'm just like, go talk to the boyfriend, don't talk to me. Which kind of gave a bit of an aloof character to my character. So yeah, airsoft is okay. I'm not a fan of guns, if I'm honest, and doubly so for obvious reasons, because my mum shot herself in the head. So yeah, I think just kind of finding individual-ish things that can be done with people, but for the most part are focused just on the solo kind of fun, discovery. The journey of discovery, I think, is what I like, and self-realizations is what to go into. Saying that, Phil, with flow arts, I do poi spinning very badly. Ooh, that's a hobby I should get back into when the weather's not shit. I love poi spinning, and I did it last year when the weather was getting great. And I have 2 or 3 of them. I've got my practice one. I've got the long ones. The long ones are really fun, and it's actually quite, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get back into that. Thanks for the reminder. I also juggle, but I just juggle in bed mostly and try not to let the balls hit me in the face. Have you tried juggling whilst lying on your back? Like, that's a skill and a half. Like, working on your proprioception and your depth perception at the same time is terrifying, but also fun. But again, I don't need to tell you about my bedroom antics. There are none. Yeah, poi is great. So, Charlie and Phil, thank you so much for watching this episode. Like, I really appreciate the chat conversation, like that goes on. It's great, and it really keeps me going. So I super appreciate both of you guys. I hope you guys have hobbies that you enjoy and they're fun, whatever they are. I noticed Charlie said way earlier, like, walking in nature is your hobby, which is great. Absolutely freaking great. And something I should do more of, but there are other little historical tainted tainted issues around that I need to kind of get over. So, K-pop boy, I actually can't get into K-pop boys. I like the more rugged types. But yeah, like K-pop as a whole thing, I really love it. And who's the 3D girl, the Yamahamoid? Yamaha? Yeah, Yamahamoid. Is it Hitsune Mitsuke? Hitsune Mitsuke, I think. She's a 3D girl, a 3D projection that happened well before, the VR was popular and everything. And I think the Gorillas took on the VR, the AR hologram projection technology. And then there was they did it for Tupac singing live at South by Southwest a couple of years ago. Yeah, I love Hitsune Mitsuke and that kind of stuff, like the humanoid, there you go, kind of things. But that's the sci-fi geek in me that just loves that kind of stuff. And so here's the thing with the hand-eye coordination. It's not like hand-eye coordination is a skill that will atrophy as we get older anyway. So that's why I juggle, because I don't want to lose it. And I do tennis ball throwing against a wall. So not in my flat, obviously, because it would break the walls, but outside, I'll just find a wall or something and just spend 10 minutes throwing a ball back and forth from really close to really far away, and then switch to my non-dominant hand. I'm left-handed. So and then sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit courageous, I'll do 2 balls at the same time and alternate them just to keep my hand-eye coordination kind of in check. Because it's really important, especially if you have some but you don't have a lot, like if you want to hold on to that as you get older, it's really important that you do that now. Yeah. Wearing What conversation are you guys having that I'm missing out on? Wearing fitted shirts and ties. Yes, but not fitted trousers. Fit men and fitted trousers is not good. But I digress. So, yeah, like hobbies are important. Thank you guys for showing up and getting stuck in. I hope the episode was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Again, shooting from the hip is always a bit weird because I just go everywhere mentally and then come back and then go away again and then come back. And then some people are just like, you are all over the place. I'm just like, yes, welcome to my squirrel brain with the one German shepherd who has its work cut out for it. But yeah, I'm gonna head off to the gym now because I have not been to the gym in 2 days and I have a tuxedo I need to fit in on Friday. Shit. Yes. Y'all, we need to keep this chat PG, please. I'd rather it didn't, but also we must keep it PG because this is going to be pinned for at least a week. So, on that note, you guys have a wonderful day, evening, morning, week, and I'll probably see you in the social medias of some descriptions. So, yeah, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Okay,